The morning sun poured through the glass walls of the Harrington corporate tower, turning every polished surface into a sheet of gold. And right in the middle of that blinding, perfect world walked a small 12-year-old girl named Marina Hale, clutching a brown envelope to her chest like it was the last piece of truth she had left in the world. Her backpack straps were frayed. Her shoes were dusted white from long miles of walking, and her breathing trembled with both fear and determination. As she pushed open the doors, dozens of suited employees glanced at her with confused curiosity. But Marina kept moving, her eyes fixed ahead. She had come to return something that didn't belong to her, something she found on a park bench 3 days ago, something that could be meaningless, or could change everything. But what she wasn't prepared for was the laughter that greeted her when she stepped into the office of one of the city's richest, most influential men. Marina had never been inside a place like this. The floor smelled faintly of lemon polish. The air hummed with printers and keyboards. Everyone looked important, busy, untouchable. The receptionist stared at her before pointing toward a large office at the end of the hall. That was where she found Grant Harrington, the billionaire investor whose face appeared on magazine covers every other month. He sat behind a polished desk with a smile that looked carved rather than felt. His suit was perfect, his hair flawless, his expression dismissive. Marina swallowed her fear and stepped forward, extending the envelope with both hands. It wasn't heavy, but it felt like it weighed her entire world. Inside, it was a stack of documents, plans, financial details, personal notes she didn't understand. She only knew one thing. The man whose name was stamped across them deserved to have them back. But Grant Harrington didn't look at the envelope first. He looked at her, then at his assistant, then leaned back and burst into loud laughter. His assistant chuckled with him, exchanging glances that made Marina feel smaller than she already was. Grant assumed she was a prank, a distraction, someone wasting his time. Marina's heart squeezed painfully, but she stood her ground. She explained where she found the envelope, how she kept it safe, how she used her school's limited computer access to track down the company address. But every word only amused him more. Grant waved his hand dismissively, as if the whole situation was a child's silly game. And in that moment, Marina wished she had never stepped into that cold, gleaming building at all. What Grant didn't know was that Marina's life hadn't been kind. She lived with her grandmother in a tiny apartment where electricity flickered and meals were more hope than habit. She had used the same backpack for 4 years. She studied by a cracked window that let in winter air. But she still believed in honesty. She believed lost things should be returned, even when the world didn't seem to care. The walk to the tower had taken her over an hour. Her feet ached. But she came anyway, because something inside her, something her grandmother called the voice of good, told her it mattered. As Grant continued laughing, Marina lowered her head. Maybe she had misunderstood everything. Maybe the envelope wasn't important. Maybe returning it didn't matter. Maybe the world really didn't care about small acts of goodness. But then the office door opened. A frail older man stepped inside, leaning on a wooden cane. His name was Arthur Linwood, a retired architect who volunteered on city heritage committees. His hair was silver, his glasses sat low on his nose, but his sharp, weary eyes immediately fell on the envelope in Marina's hands. Recognition, panic, relief. Arthur slowly moved toward her, his cane tapping against the floor. He asked her one simple question. Marina explained everything, the bench, the envelope, the walk, the search. Arthur's hands trembled. That envelope didn't just contain random papers. It held his original hand-drawn plans for a historical reconstruction project, documents he had poured months into, documents he thought were lost, forever when his briefcase accidentally opened on that bench. Grant's smile vanished instantly. Arthur turned toward him, not with anger, but with deep disappointment. He explained that Marina had returned something priceless, years of dedicated work, the heart of a heritage project that meant everything to him. The billionaire who laughed moments ago now looked frozen, embarrassed, unable to meet Arthur's eyes. For the first time, Marina saw a flicker of humanity behind Grant's polished exterior, a crack in the perfect mask he wore. Arthur thanked Marina gently with such sincerity that her chest tightened. He asked about her life, her grandmother, her school, and as Marina answered quietly, Grant finally realized how brave and strong this young girl actually was. Moved by her honesty, Arthur insisted on rewarding her, not with money but with opportunity. He offered to support her education, mentor her in architecture if she ever wanted it, and stay connected with her grandmother. Grant, stung by his own arrogance, apologized sincerely, not just to Marina but to Arthur. Something changed in the room. The air softened, warmed, became human again. Grant personally walked Marina out of the office, a gesture that shocked every employee watching. She stepped back into the glowing sunlight with a strange feeling, lifting her heart. Something like pride, something like hope. She didn't know what the future held, but she knew one thing. She had done the right thing, and sometimes that was enough to change more than one life.